In this video, I'm going to show you a new tool that you can use to take your Framer sites to the next level. More specifically, I'm going to show you how you can add crazy 3D objects to your websites without any 3D modeling or coding knowledge. For all this, we are going to be combining Framer with a brand new tool called Endless Tools. This is going to be a super value-packed video, so make sure to stick around until the end. My name is Nandi, this is Framer University, and let's get started. So as you can see, here I am on the endlesstools.io website. I'm going to leave a link in the description where you can create a free account. As you can see, I already created one for myself. They have a free plan. I think you can also subscribe to be able to export more images, I guess, and have like less limits and stuff like that. But yeah, the free plan is also pretty usable. I've been using it so far and it's been great. So in here, as you can see, we have 4 tools at the moment. We have the type tool, cover tool, the object tool, and the shape tool. And all of these can create really cool effects that we can then use in our website. So what I want to show you in this video is specifically the object tool and then the shape tool. So if I go and click the object tool, you'll see that I start seeing these little objects here inside of Endless Tools. And then what I can do is I can click these little windows that are floating around here. So for example, here's one, which is the object selector. I can just drag this here, and then you can see that we have a bunch of predefined like 3D models that I can switch to. So maybe I want to have this little like bowl, or maybe, I don't know, like I'm gonna just try to pick one that I like. Yeah, maybe we have this little cube here. And then what we can do is we can go to the left, which is the material selector. And then we have a bunch of materials, and you can see that if I zoom in, it looks so great. So like it's so high quality. Like when I first tried it, I just couldn't believe it. And yeah, you can also customize the material itself. So you can change its color, for example. You can see that now it's a little bit red. You can change the roughness, repeat, and stuff like this, but we have different controls for different materials. And you can see that we have a bunch of materials here. So if you want something that is like sort of like a glass, you can also have that. And then you have, again, different controls for the material itself. You can rotate it around, and yeah, it just looks so good. And then once you are, like satisfied with something, it looks pretty good, to be honest. Then what you can do is you can literally just export it as an image or a video, but you can also play around with the lighting here on the right. You can change the depth as well, the color of the light. You can change the background. So it's really easy. Like it's pretty similar to Framer, like the interface itself. It's really easy to like navigate and stuff like that. And we are creating these pretty cool like little 3D objects, which is pretty nice. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you another tool, which is the shape tool, because here in the object tool, we have these different objects, which are, preloaded for us, and we can just, switch between them, and we can use them for our websites. And yeah, we can basically use them anywhere. We cannot really upload our own objects here, but what we can do is we can go back here to the home page, and we can click the shape tool. And the shape tool works a little bit differently. It works in a way that we can drop our own SVGs right here, and then Endless Tools will literally just make it 3D. It will give it a nice depth, as you can see right here. And we can also set our material for it, set up our lighting and everything, and it will look really nice. So for this example, I wanna, turn my university logo, Framer University logo, into this 3D object. So I'm gonna just grab this logo, and hopefully I can just drag and drop here. Yes, I can, very good. So as you can see, I have the Framer University logo right here, and we can make it a little bit, we can just adjust the depth here to make it look more 3D and make it a bit wider. And you can see that now, yeah, it already looks pretty good. We can also hold R on our keyboard to rotate it like this. And then I think I'm just gonna pick like a material that I like. So maybe I can also pick some sort of like wood material. Yeah, you can just literally spend so much time just going through these different materials. They look so nice, and I think you can also create your own if you click right here. Yes, you can actually do that, and you can upload your color map and bump and everything. So if you know how to like create this, you can also like create your own materials. So here I think I'm just gonna go with like maybe this I don't know, metal, or should I go with some sort of like glassy look? I'm not sure, honestly. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go with this glass. It looks really nice. Oh my god, it's so cool. Okay, so I can just position my little logo like this. And I can also, you know, customize the material itself. I can change its roughness. I can change the repeat. I can also change the thickness of the glass. It gives a little bit different effect. And then we can also change the environment power. And then I can also change the lighting here on the right. So maybe we want a little bit less depth, something like this. And yeah, at this point, all we have to do is we have to somehow export this from Endless Tools and bring it into Framer. So we've got a bunch of different export options. So if we go here to the top right, you can see export. So we have image, we have 3D, and we have video and embed. So I think image is pretty easy to understand. It's just gonna get us an image. Video is also easy to understand. It's gonna give us a video, and then embed. It's literally just a code that you can maybe paste into Framer, and it will be embedded on your site, and then you can, you know, also interact with it. So it will like follow your cursor, and maybe you can like drag it around like this, depending on what interactivity you set right here. So it's also pretty good. However, I usually don't really like using embeds that much on these sites because they tend to, you know, load a little bit slower. So what I prefer to do most of the time is either use like an image sequence or simply images or video. So in this case, I might just, you know, record a video or like, you know, export video from here. Then we can, you know, put it into Framer and just maybe play on scroll. And yeah, it will look really nice. So you can just click here, record. And yeah, what I forgot, just go back right here to the export. So I haven't tried 3D, but what I think is it will just literally just give us a 3D file that we can drop onto, I don't know, Blender or some other 3D modeling software. So yeah, I think that is 3D. But yeah, let's record our little video here. So here we can actually change the background of the footage. So I think I'm gonna go with this full black. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to press loop because I want this to like rotate around. So I'm going to press loop. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust the speed. So maybe I want it to be a little bit faster, but not too fast. And then I'm going to switch to like an X rotation. I don't want to rotate it around the Y axis. So I'm going to stop the Y at a certain point. Yeah, I'm just gonna stop it. Yeah, I think this is the perfect placement. So now when I have this right here, I can just press start record and it will start recording. So it will just rotate around like this. And then we're gonna stop the recording when we have like a full circle or a full loop. And then we're gonna probably have a video file. Let's see, we're gonna have to wait a little bit. And then it is going to save it for us. Yes, as you can see, we have this little window here. I can name it, so logo rotation, and then we can click save. And now it's saved on my computer. I can go to my Finder and check out the footage. So as you can see, here it is in my Finder. I can preview this, and you can see that here we have the recording. It looks really nice. However, it's pretty large. So what I'm going to do with this to make it a little bit smaller file size is First, I'm gonna just trim it, so make sure that we just have one like loop. Yeah, it's pretty much good. So the start point and the end point is the same. And now I can just click done here, and we're gonna create a new clip. I'm gonna do an extra thing, which is going to be bringing this into iMovie. So I'm gonna just launch iMovie here. So inside of iMovie, I'm gonna just create a new movie. And then I'm going to just drag and drop the footage that I have just saved. Okay, so I cannot drag and drop it. I'm not a big user of iMovie, and you can clearly see that. So I'm going to just allow it to scan the desktop folder, and I will import the footage that way. Then I can just drag and drop this to my timeline. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to export it from here, and we'll just set the resolution to something that is not 4K. So in this case, I think I'm going to go with 1080, and the quality can be also medium. So we drop the quality a little bit. So, the file size is also getting a little bit smaller. And yeah, I think that's going to be pretty much it. I'm going to click next, and then I'm going to save it to my desktop. Okay, so now we have our exported footage from iMovie. It's a little bit lower quality, of course, but on web, we cannot really have high quality videos because those are just going to take up so much space and they're going to take a little bit longer to load. So we're going to work with this. And so now what I can do is I can just go open Framer, and I can just make a quick site with this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just create a sticky positioned frame. Inside of that, we're going to put a scroll media component. Inside of that, we're going to upload the video. It will play and scroll, and yeah, it will look really nice. Maybe I'm going to also add this text above it so it scrolls above the logo. So by the way, I'm going to have this project in the description. You can just click the Remix link and get this to your account. You're going to find a starter page here in the left panel, and you can start building with me to practice. So yeah, but I'm going to go to the tutorial and work on that page. I'm going to just draw a frame here. This is going to be the scroll container, so I'm going to set it to fill. Remove the fill color because that is not really needed, and set the height to around 2700. I'm going to turn it into a stack here on the right panel, set the direction to vertical, distribute start, and the gap will be 0. So now this is going to be a scroll container, so I'm going to actually rename it to scroll container. This is going to define the length of the stickiness of our frame within. As you can see, it's 2700, so this is going to be the length of the stickiness. So inside of that, we're going to actually create a sticky frame. Width will be set to fill. Again, the height will be viewport, and then this will be sticky. Now, as you can see, when I set to sticky, the height changes to 30 VH instead of 100. So we have to set it back to 100. This is a little bug inside the Framer that they haven't fixed yet, but hopefully they're going to do it in the future. So here, the fill color will be again removed, and the layout will be added. So we turn this into stack as well. So this will be called a sticky since it's positioned in a sticky way. And then inside of this, we're gonna just put a scroll media component that allows us to play videos as we scroll down on the site. So Option and F on my keyboard takes me to the Framer University website. I highly encourage you to use Raycast on your device if you have a macOS device, and just set up a quick link inside of Raycast and set a little shortcut for it, because then you can access Framer.University really, really quickly. So here I'm going to just search for scroll media, and there you go. We have this resource here, and I can just copy the component. I, by the way, have like a dedicated tutorial on how to use this. So if you want to dig a little bit deeper and learn how to use it, you can just watch the video. So I'm going to just close this now and paste in the component inside of the sticky frame. So now you can see it's right inside of the sticky. We can set it to width fill, and then the height will be also fill. So as you can see, it says we should upload our images or the video. So in our case, we want to use it in video mode. So we are not going to play an image sequence, but a video. So I'm going to choose the video file here. So let's just go to the desktop and upload the logo animation that we have exported from iMovie. And then, yeah, as you can see, it's right here. It's uploaded. I'm going to set the media fit to contain because you can see it's not really going to look great on mobile. But if I set it to media fit contain, it's going to nicely contain into the available width or height. And yeah, it is much better this way. So then I'm going to set the length to a little bit smaller, maybe 1500. I'm going to also set the FPS to 60, so it's going to be a little bit more smoother. And yeah, now I will just preview this. And yeah, as you can see, it is nicely like rotating around. It's not really sticky. What I want is to keep this in the viewport as I scroll down, but now it's just scrolling away. So it's because we indeed set the type to sticky here on the frame, but we need one more thing to make this work. we have to set all parent frames of this sticky position frame to overflow visible. So one parent frame will be scroll container, the other one will be the main, and the last one will be the desktop. So all of these are set to overflow visible. It's going to basically fix the issue for us. As you can see now, it is nicely, sticking to the top of the viewport, and it's staying in the center of the screen. So now I can just add an additional element. I can just draw a frame below the sticky frame. I'll set that to fill as well. I think I'm gonna just set the height to 800 for now. I'm gonna remove the fill color, turn it into stack, and then just put this label text within. And I'm gonna set the width to fill, and then the size of the text will be fit. So it's basically just trying to fill up the available space inside of the stack. I'm going to rename this to text, by the way, and I'm going to add some padding on the left and on the right. And now, as you can see on smaller viewports, the stack size will scale to always, fill up the available space on the website. So hopefully now it's looking nice. Yeah, it could be looking nice, but what is happening right now is basically this text is going below the video that we uploaded. So what we have to do is we have to set this text container to a z-index which is higher than the sticky frame. So I'm gonna set it to 2, and hopefully, yeah, it's gonna do the job. Pretty good. So now maybe we can add some additional effects to this. So what I'm thinking is that we could add blend mode difference to the text to make it look a little bit more interesting. So right panel styles filters. That's not right because it's right here blending, so we don't have to go inside the filters. And then we're just go and select difference. So now it is gonna interact with the layers below it, but it's not really doing it, and I don't know why. So I don't know why that is actually happening. Maybe I'll also have to set the difference on the text, like container. Let's try that as well. As you can see, sometimes you just run into little issues inside the framer, but you can just experiment with different things and you can see that you can fix them. So now it works perfectly. It sort of like interacts with the layers below it, and yeah, it has this interesting effect. It's above the logo that is like rotating around, but it still feels a little bit like it's below it. So yeah, it has this really cool effect. So yeah, basically that's it. You can see that you can use endless tools to create these really cool 3D objects. You can even pick from predefined ones, or you can just upload your own SVGs and create your own objects. Maybe if you want to turn your logo into a really cool 3D object like this, you can do that. Where I have this other project prepared here inside the framer, I also exported these little objects, or really 3D assets from Endless Tools, and these were also made with the Shape tool. So these are actually just 2D like SVGs that were like dropped into Endless Tools, and they were like, made 3D with the depth, and now they look really nice. They have a nice material, and yeah, they can spice up your website quite a bit. So yeah, I think that's it for this video. Make sure to check out Framer.University for other tutorials, resources, components. I think it will be a pretty cool resource if you are learning Framer. So yeah, make sure to leave your comments in the description if you have any questions or you just want to say something, and like this video, subscribe for more, and I'm going to see you in the next one.